Welcome to the Cell Soul Source podcast. I'm Jackie, a chiropractor, yogi, and Akashic reader, and I'm here to activate healing in light workers of all kinds so they can serve from an empowered place and fulfill their purpose with ease, awe, and wonder. Hello and welcome to another punchy episode. I have prepared with a mug of cacao, and you know that when I prepare in that particular intentional way, it's going to be a big conversation that comes from the heart. And I want to speak about a particular blockage today because it's something that's been showing up in my world really frequently, whether it's with friends, clients, people that I'm working with. And I wanted to share a little bit of information with you so that you could be armed ahead of time. This is the blockage that shows up when you have something in your field that means you are not certain that your needs are going to be met. Sometimes there's something around guilt in your field as well. Now, remember, this is subconscious, and we need to use the feedback from our energy bodies to bring what's subconscious up into our conscious awareness. So I will go on to share with you the ways this shows up in your physical reality. Now, this could have started a long time ago. It could have started in early childhood. It could be outside of your memory, which is why you're not conscious that it's playing out. But this is a blockage that is massive in healers. I would argue it's one of the ones that we work with that almost attract us to some kind of healing art. I feel like all of the healers that I can think of off the top of my head struggle with this. And I mean from, GPs to physiotherapists to yoga teachers to spiritual seekers. I mean the whole spectrum of healers and light workers. So let's jump into the ways that this is going to show up, the feedback that you're going to be getting from your energy bodies that might spark your awareness around this particular blockage. So the feedback from your physical body is going to be around your pelvis. It's going to be your sacroiliac issues, your hip joint complaints, any kind of groin issue is going to be feedback from your physical body that this is what's going on under the hood. Energetically, it's going to show up as that kind of needy energy, the energy that makes you lean in and give more. Or the other way that this will show up is that kind of spiky energy. I think of it as barbed wire. Now, I will share with you that I also have worked through this blockage, so I understand it intimately. And I used to flit between the two. So I either used to have needy energy, and it showed up not that I needed anything, but I needed you to be okay before I could feel okay. I needed you to be happy and content before I could feel happy and content. And the only way that I could ever hold a boundary is with barbed wire. And the way I did that was just getting really sarcastic. It was a really ugly energy because I didn't know how to find the middle of those two energies. I didn't know how to hold healthy boundaries. I didn't know where other people stopped and I began. that differentiation between self and other. Emotionally, this is going to show up as resentment, largely because you're saying yes to things when you mean no. How many of us are literally saying the word yes out of our mouth, and inside our head we're going, no, we should be saying no. And it's almost like your mouth betrays you when your brain is saying no. And when we're doing that, it's the fastest way to resentment, because we end up doing a whole load of things that we don't want to be doing, potentially with people that we don't want to be doing them with. It's also going to show up as overwhelm, because you're taking on things that aren't yours to take on. And it's also the fastest way to burn out. So those are some of the feedback that you will be getting from your energy bodies. Now, again, and I will stress this till the day I die, we are not noticing this feedback with any kind of judgment or concern. We don't want to be adding any more emotional charge to this. All we're doing is noticing the feedback. And if you can, get into the energy of curiosity and playfulness. I noticed that I'm, feeling a sensation, a discomfort in my groin. I noticed that I am feeling resentment in this moment. And you want it to have that kind of energy behind it, so that we are coming closer to that kind of neutral bliss body that we're searching for. The ways this is going to play out and show up in your physical reality is going to be a few ways. So I'll share a couple of them with you. Number one is going to be people pleasing. How many healers, colleagues do you know that are people pleasers? So you are the one who is saying yes when the client wants to book in at a time that you're actually not available. Yes, of course, I can tag you onto the end of my day. That's no problem when it is a problem. Of course, I can book you in through my lunch. That's not a problem when it is, in fact, a problem. Or maybe you are teaching yoga. You're the one who's staying after class and giving loads of advice to people after class when it's eating into your own free time. Healers traditionally struggle to say no. We struggle to say, no, I don't have an appointment for you. Are you able to come at this time? No, I can't stay after class and give you extra advice. Are you able to ask it during class next time? It feels uncomfortable for us to say that, because we have this blockage in our field that subconsciously we're thinking, if I say no, my needs will not be met. If I say no, my needs will not be met. Another way it's going to show up is seeing people that you know aren't a good fit for you. We've all had those patients, those clients, those students that just feel light. They get the results, the transformations, they're happy, you're buzzing, and it feels really good for both parties. But we've also had the clients that aren't a good fit for us, that feel heavy, that feel like we're doing all the heavy lifting, that feel like we're never good enough because they're not getting the results. So we end up watering down our own skills or our own message or what we're talking about to try and fit the person in front of us. So again, that makes healing feel heavy. That makes it feel like it's all on us, and that is not what your healing gift is about. It is a collaborative relationship. The third way this is going to show up is you'll be picking up jobs, and whether this is at home or at work or both, that aren't yours to do. So you keep volunteering, you keep putting your hand up, you keep leaning in, you keep picking up the slack where others are, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You pick up the slack, which means you don't have the time or the energy to do the things that will amplify your genius. Which means you don't have the time or the energy to do the things that will amplify your genius. So what does it look like when you dissolve this blockage? You are easily able to say no without feeling guilty. You're able to hold your own boundary around time, your boundary around energy. And you can do that without feeling guilty or without using the barbed wire technique that I used to have to use. When you dissolve it, you're able to nurture yourself without feeling selfish. Because along with this blockage and you subconsciously believing that if you look after yourself and if you prioritize yourself first, the other person's going to leave, the other person's not going to like you, and your needs won't be met. Now you're able to nurture yourself without feeling selfish, because you know that when you nurture yourself, you show up fully turned on, fully tuned in, and then your client results feel easy. Your day feels easy. You go to bed feeling like you did meaningful work and it felt light, instead of doing it from burnout and overwhelm. And the other thing that happens when you dissolve this blockage is you are now able to receive. When we have this blockage, it makes it very difficult for us to receive. If we subconsciously believe our needs will not be met, then how can we receive all the things that are going to meet our needs? Because we are subconsciously blocking it. So when you dissolve this, it means you are able to receive the clients that you want to work with. You are able to receive the level of income that you desire. You are able to receive the joy and the bliss that you know it's possible to experience. So I'd like to leave you with a little practical tip that you can start to implement so that you can start to recondition yourself. So subconsciously, you have a belief that your needs will not be met. And so your brain is looking for all the evidence to support that. Oh yes, my needs weren't met in this situation or that situation. See, it's true. But I'm inviting you to start to recondition your mind to notice all the ways that you are already receiving now. I shared this with somebody the other day. I went to fill my car with petrol and I was paying with cash. And you know when the pump goes a penny over. So I gave her the money and I was scratching around for a penny to give her. And she went, "It's okay, I've got one on the counter here." And she popped it in the till on my behalf. So it was a penny. It's not really life-changing, but it was a credit in the "look at what I'm receiving" column. And that's what I want you to notice, those tiny, minuscule ways that you are receiving. The compliment, the unexpected gift your friend gives you, the flowers your mom brings when she comes to visit you, the cup of tea your other half makes you. I want you to start to notice all the ways that you are indeed already receiving, and start to give your mind evidence of that until that becomes your default pathway, and all you can see is all of the wonderful ways that you're already receiving, all of the wonderful ways that your needs are being met. As always, if you want me to help you dissolve this blockage and move through it, you're welcome to reach out. I'm working on a program for this one because it is so big. But in the meantime, I'm happy to work one-to-one with this one. As always, you can DM me on Instagram if you've got any questions. And I so look forward to connecting with you on the next podcast. I am rooting for you. We rise together. If you feel called, please rate and review. I would really appreciate that.